Welcome back to the Coffee Hour. I know it's kind of the middle of winter right now, but we can think warm thoughts as we think about summer and all the fun one could be having at camp this summer. We have another camp story to share with you today as we head to Gowen, Michigan, Camp Concordia. It is going to be fun. Joining us today is Dr. Craig Oldenburg. He's camp director at Camp Concordia. Craig, thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
So Camp Concordia in Gowen, Michigan. Help us get there. How do we get to Gowen, Michigan?
You fly into Grand Rapids, Michigan, and drive north about 35 minutes.
There you go. I'm looking at it on my hand right now to make sure I know where I'm going.
That's right. That's right.
True Michigander right there.
Michigander.
Looking it up on her hand, on her palm. That's impressive.
The Palm Pilot. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man. Tell us more about Camp Concordia. How does Camp Concordia play a part in Christian formation for children or youth, young adults, families, the whole gamut? How is Camp Concordia a part of the Christian life?
Yep. We really do play off of that concept. We love the sticky faith research and the whole idea that if my child, I have an 11-year-old daughter, if she's going to have faith when she's 23 years old and she's going to be involved in the church, she needs to be surrounded by all kinds of other faithful Christian adults. And I think sticky faith says 4 or 5. And so we play that role. We call ourselves secondary faith influencers. We have great summer staff who come here because they have a purpose, and that purpose is to present Jesus and to talk with kids about Jesus. And we have great notes that come back to us that say, my kid came home wanting to talk about their faith. My kid came home wanting to share Bible passages. My child came home this summer. We actually got this note saying, I think I want to be a pastor.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, but we're uniquely a children's ministry. We don't try to get adult groups. We do family groups, but that's because kids come with families. If adult groups come, our goal is that we know that they're coming and we're helping them to become better at leading in their homes.
Mm-hmm. What makes Camp Concordia a unique place for these kids that come?
Yeah, that would be the one thing. The focus on we're uniquely for kids only. We're seasonal. We're not open right now, so the sidewalk is shoveled, but that's about it. But then once they get here, we work off of a small group model. It's really a discipleship model, and they actually operate and make choices every day of these groups of kids of the things that they're going to experience. And that counselor is always, or 2 counselors really, they're always looking for ways to engage those kids in conversations of the faith. They're having fun, they're having a blast, but they're out on that canoe thing, and that child asks one specific question, and all of a sudden, boom, they've got a great faith conversation going on in the midst of the fun. Mm-hmm. And so that's part of it. We're on a chain of lakes. We're basically a beachy kind of camp. We're sandy. You come here, you get full of sand.
Sands and beaches and canoes. It sounds amazing right now, even though there's snow outside of my window.
Now it's snow and ice and
right. A good true Michigan winter. You got to have one of those to enjoy the summer too. What else? What other activities are there for the kids who participate in camps every year?
Some of the things that stand out for a lot of people are when I go to the schools and I let them know is that the boys in particular will react to archery tag. It's basically
nice.
Dodgeball using bows and arrows,
Mm-hmm.
but the arrows have big puffy ends. Yes. And then the older kids appreciate the high elements and the zip line. And last year with COVID, we didn't do any team building ropes course stuff. And that was really missed by a lot of campers. So I don't think that's necessarily unique as far as camps go, but it's definitely something that really speaks to the kids. And for those who haven't done ropes course, I don't know if I can describe it in a nutshell, but then also, the waterfront, we're out there, we're canoeing, we're sailing, we're kayaking, we're swimming, we're swinging off the the rope, we're sliding down the slide. We're very, very water oriented as well as land, but slingshots. Okay. Little boys and slingshots. Okay. I don't even have to say anything, do I?
Nope. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Well, how do you mentioned that this is a place where children learn about Jesus? This is you follow a discipleship model here. What are the ways that kids learn about Jesus at camp?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, it's just, you can tell the passion of the staff. When a staff person doesn't have the passion for their faith, you can tell it. But quite often, it's actually the summer staff grow the most in their faith. It might be actually for summer staff. I know I'm going a little on a detour here. For summer staff, a lot of times this is the first time in their life they've been able to express their faith to kids. And key to young adults staying in the church is that they're involved in children's ministry. It's like critical. I was just talking with somebody about that, and we were talking about the fact that a lot of our church leadership don't necessarily think of young adults as primary to children's ministry, and children's ministry being primary to young adults staying in the church. They think if they preach a good sermon, they'll stay in the church. And I'm not trying to degrade good sermons, but I'm saying these camps are the opportunity to retain young adults and to keep them in the faith. For kids, then it's anywhere and everywhere. So last summer we had I can't remember the name of that the thing Scottish or whoever does, where they take that big log and they throw it.
Yes, the Highland Games.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
and that was part of our Bible study. Okay, so we were talking about that whole thing of how cast your cares on Jesus, and it's just throw it away, toss it away with everything you have, throw it away. And so we experience that in that game. We experience it a lot on things like when you're stepping off the platform of the zip line, you're 30 feet in the air and you're stepping off, and your whole dependence is on this little rope in front of you, and that little rope we get to talk about the anchors in that we have in life. And in that case, the anchor would be Jesus Christ, of course, and so it happens all over, and then something could happen during the day. It could just be plunging under the water, and we could go easily into Romans chapter 6 and talk about the death and the life that we experience as Christians through baptism.
It's amazing how many connections there are between a summer camp and Scripture, and how you're able to bring all of those out when the kids are there. What opportunities are there this summer for kids who are looking to attend camp?
So we if you're a kindergartner right now, you could go to camp for a weekend. You're going into first, second, or third grade. You go to Explorer Camp. Then you start going to week-long camps all the way up until you're just graduating from 9th grade and heading into 10th grade. We've got camps going on. And then Camp Arcadia, one of our friend camps here in Michigan, they've got the truly high school camp going on. And we high schoolers go up there, or they work as junior counselors for us. So we've got all the ages. We go age specific or grade specific, so that you're with either males or females according to that age, which, by the way, is a big question these days. We get a lot of calls from parents who say, so who's counseling my kids? Is it a male or a female? They want to know. They want to know those things. Then we have family camps, but we just have a 4th of July family camp, and we have a weekend for first through third graders with their parents.
Tell us about the people that it takes to make camp successful, and a little bit more about what you might need for this summer.
Yeah. We need everybody. I ran a camp in Colorado, and everybody wanted to go work in Colorado. I ran a camp in California. Everybody wanted to go to California. Now I run a camp in Michigan. How many people want to go to Michigan?
Me.
Yeah, I have one. Yeah. We're a gorgeous spot, and a really unique opportunity, but nobody knows that we exist. So when I say I need everybody, I really have some great leadership staff coming back, but we need a lot of male counselors. If we could have 6 male counselors, actually, we would be in heaven. If we could have 8 female counselors, we'd be doing great. We have our leadership. We need people to train in lifeguarding. They just need to know and love how to swim. We love people that can play instruments and sing, even if they don't sing on key. Even if they don't play well, we love them, and this is a great opportunity for them to do that. We need cooks. We need people who will just say, you know what, ministry in Jesus' time was often around food, and I'm going to make food happen. We've got menus. You don't even have to know how to cook. You just have to be able to read and follow a menu, and we can make great food and great memories and great opportunities to talk about Jesus.
What should parents know who are now inspired and want to send their kids to Camp Concordia? What should parents know as they plan their summer for their kids?
Well, I think this year they should know that we're all dealing with COVID stuff, and we're working on what that means and how clean things are going to be and how much attention we're going to pay to that. And a lot of the kids are saying, do I have to wear masks? Last summer, we were able to run, and people didn't have to wear face masks. You just had to stay in your own, what we call cohort. So that's a concern. The other thing is we work at having 2 adult staff per cabin because of accountability and making sure that their kids are cared for. There's not going to be any kids wandering around by themselves getting lost because we're there with them, and you don't have to come with a friend. You can come with a friend. You should come with a friend. But if you have that kid who's like, well, I just don't know. I don't have any friends who want to go. Come anyway, because gaining the friendships you gain at camp are forever friendships. We have a group of young ladies who have been going to camp together, and I saw one check in last summer, and she ran to this other girl and they hugged, and it was just like, and I'm like, wow, they must have been friends since they were like little kids. And they said no, they only know each other from camp, and this is the only place they ever see each other. So these are all anchors. When we talk about, one of the things that is big right now with the COVID is the youth suicide. And these kids have friends. These kids have friends. When everything else fails, they've got their camp friends.
With just under a minute left, Craig, can you point us to how to find registration information, how to get signed up for this summer?
CampConcordia.org. That's it.
Very good. CampConcordia.org. Our guest today, Dr. Craig Oldenburg, Camp Director at Camp Concordia in Gowen, Michigan. Thanks so much for being our guest on the Coffee Hour.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
The Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit KFUO.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@KFUO.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.